Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have the budget, well, we're going to call it the budget guitar. It's for a customer, it's for a young person who's going to get it. Today we're going to concentrate on the correct way to de-string and get all the plastic that comes on the guitar, the Stratocaster and Fender type instruments. So let's get to work. So before we get, it's been a minute since I worked on this guitar. I've had so much work in the shop recently that I had to get done before I got back to this. So before we get too far into doing the setup and getting the trem working and everything, refer to the first video. We unboxed it, we checked it out. It actually is not a bad little instrument. I'm pretty sure it's going to play well and play well for the person that's going to ultimately get this, which is probably going to be a young person. Whatever. We're going to make the trem work, and if they don't want it, then I can easily put it back to hardtail and just do a quick setup on it after that. Everybody, I mean, I just had two guys that spent a couple of $1,000s on one was a Tele, and it had, in each one of the pickups, it was a Tele Deluxe, and it had, a different pickup configuration from a standard Tele, and all of his screws and up from underneath here, when you peel this off, it's never going to come off the right way. You have to do this procedure or have someone do it because the plastic is under all of the screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the strings off because these are the strings that came on it. I don't know what they are, and I'm sure they're cheap. They gave us a free set of strings, so we'll probably restring it with the free set of strings that came with it. And then eventually I'm going to just put a set of Ernie Ball 9s or 10s on it. So yeah. And I want to make sure that the strings are not getting caught up in the nut. I've gotten a comment recently about the volume of my recording. The mic is picking up. If it's too loud, sorry, just turn your volume down. My videos are organic. I don't invest a lot of money into cameras and microphones and gear and all that. These are meant to be tutorials and meant to show my customers what I do with their guitars when I have them. I appreciate your interest and your comments, but not once but twice somebody had to make a snarky comment about the sound quality. All right, get over it. So pretty basic. You take the strings off. I like that it has two string trees. Even high-end guitars, some of them don't. And sure enough, I had one the other day, and it only had one string tree for the high E and the B. And yep, sure enough, the G string was buzzing, and he couldn't figure out why. And I go, well, because the break angle is incorrect. By the way, the snarky comment was, how could you be working on guitars with such a bad microphone? Well, I'm not sure what a microphone volume has to do with working on guitars, but I digress. Sometimes I answer the comments, and I'm always thankful that you guys are watching and digging on what I do. And sometimes I got to make a comment back while I'm doing a video just to show you that I'm paying attention. cut them off, push them through. I always tell myself I'm not gonna answer negative comments, but negative comments sometimes are helpful. Sometimes they're just a pain in the butt. So you see all the plastic milk. This stuff here is going to peel off nicely, right? That's the easy ones. And then they go, oh wow, that came off really nice and real easy. See, that one tried to leave a piece of plastic there. That came off really nice and really easy, but wait until you get to this and start peeling that off. All the knobs have to come off, and every one of these screws is going to have to be loosened and very carefully peel the plastic out from around it. Also noticing here, he didn't do a very good job putting the bridge in there. I guess they wanted to tighten down a couple of them right in the middle because it's set as a hardtail from the factory. We'll get to that. So, screws, especially the ones here. Now, be very, very careful. The ones on the outside are just holding the pick guard. But some of these screws and some of the screw heads look pretty damn similar to the ones that are holding the pick guard are actually to raise and lower the pickup. Like that guy right there. Right there. So yeah, you can loosen this until it starts to pop up, but you got to be careful because, if you go too far, it's going to actually unscrew it from the catch on the bottom, which is usually with these type, it's just a little rubber, kind of a rubber hat. The screw goes through that, the rubber hat, and then goes into the pickup. And that's what the spring action is a little piece of rubber. So we're going to do the best we can. And if we have to pull, sometimes you have to literally take the pick guard off. I'm hoping we don't have to do that. Sometimes you get lucky. But more times than not, the pick guard has to come out. And yeah, not everybody's equipped or energetic enough or experienced enough to get after it like that. But usually, this will tell the tale. Also, knobs have to come off because these need to be loosened ever so slightly, and there will be plastic underneath the nut. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Alright, so there's a right way to do this and a wrong way. The right way is to get a flat head screwdriver and something soft for it to right up against, and all you do is slightly turn it and then get it around to another spot, slightly turn it. And once you do that, it will usually pop up. If you do that very carefully all the way around, you won't have any problems. If you start prying on this and don't do it the right way, you're going to have a headache. Did they make a tool for that? Yeah, they do, but I've been doing that way for 100 years. Never had a problem. Let's see. You see right there, it is already trying to stick around the screw. So as you're pulling it up, try to get it to pull away from the screw. That's why you loosen them. If you left them all tight, it would stay there. Like that one did right there, left the piece of plastic for me. Yeah. Yep, it's always the pickup screw. Yeah, plastic left there. Plastic maybe there, maybe there. See, because I took the time to loosen the screws, most of the plastic came out from around the pick guard screws. Are we going to get lucky on the knobs? No, they're underneath the nuts. But if you take the knobs off and peel around it, tightly get it started, and try not to leave too much excess. So when the knob goes down on there, there won't be a big piece of plastic sticking out. Yep, follow? Thusly. Now, let's see where it did leave. We don't know. Pardon my head. Oh yeah, there's a piece of plastic right there. It just didn't want to cooperate. No problem. I was expecting that. I got a little overzealous in pulling it. Yep, I sure did get a little overzealous. Oh my God, there was two pieces of plastic, one on top and then another one, a second one. That's what I saw there. Wow. Yeah. I've seen that before, but I didn't think I would see it on this level of guitar. A lot right there. You bugger. Yep. What I'm trying to do is get it out from around the outside screws first, because it seems to have large holes cut around it. And this is where we get plastic left. I'm pretty sure. I gotta say, they did a little bit better job than Fender, but in this regard anyway, not mechanically or electronically. If you're careful pulling it around those screw heads, it looks like there is a cutout and they tend to want to pull right out. It's pinched right there under the, it pulled the whole thing right out. So we're back to the pot. And you'll notice I'm trying to pull straight up. I think the only trouble we're going to have is around the pots and this particular pickup right here, because everything else came off cleanly. Yup. So, yeah, still the funnest of the fun stuff. Now, remember, you got to be super careful of these things. If it doesn't want to loosen up and tighten back down, you have to pull the entire pick guard off. If you just back it off slightly and it can get a hold of the plastic, it should pull out from underneath the nut. You loosen the nut. Loosen the nut and get a hold of it. And it should come out. From right around it. That one's done. Now, this is the tricky part. When you go to tighten it, make sure that your knob split is clocked, and pay attention that you're not turning the entire pot down underneath it, because if that starts to turn or spin on you, if the locking washer isn't doing what it's supposed to do, you could be spinning wires down there, and you definitely don't want to do that. And finger tight is more than enough. Yeah. Sorry about my head, but yep, this is what it entails. Otherwise, you're going to be living with this plastic for the rest of your ownership of the guitar. Get a pair of tweezers or a little pick tool like I have and get it started, and it should come out. Is there a perfect science to it? No, there is not. Sometimes tweezers, I don't like these tweezers, they don't tend to grab a hold very well. There, once you get it starting to peel off, turn it around and come around like that, and it should pull right out. So we notice that the slit in the pot post is clocked this direction. When you start to tighten down, it should stay there. If it starts to turn, stop. Don't go too far. You're spinning wires. Give it a good snug. That one's done. Got a little bit on there too, of course. Of course. I'm showing this entire segment because I've had some people ask about this, and how do I get that plastic up? Well, you take it to a guitar guy. You take it to a guitar guy. Sorry you're not learning about how to solder in new Seymour Duncans today. Today it's just about getting the plastic, getting the condom off of the pick guard. So this one is so far under there. You could have left it and the knob would have covered it probably forever, but I know it's in there and I don't like that. It would drive me crazy. See, I got too aggressive. I pulled it too fast. There we go. Got the whole thing out. Clock your slit is clocked this way. It stayed. I believe, and I like this feature, and I think the reason why they didn't move is there's a little tab that sticks up right there, that keeps the pot from sliding. This one may have moved. The tab is there, the tab is there. This one may have moved slightly. The only thing we can do is check it when we get all done, make sure all the electronics are working. If it moved, it was very little. But look at all that plastic and goop that we got out of there. Now all of that's out. Now, I'm surprised and pleased that the plastic came out from these. These are your pickup adjustment, height adjustments for these two pickups. Your lipstick type. This one, however, there's plastic there, none there. This one is going to require some work. God, this is tedious. And this one, you can't just loosen the screws. They don't come out. There's a mechanism under there that we use to raise or lower this pickup. And what you try to do is loosen it enough that you can sort of lift it up. And once you lift it slightly, then you can pull that piece of plastic out. But man, that's the tricky one, because if you loosen it too far, it comes undone underneath, and then you have no choice but to pull the pick guard off. Now, I know you want to come off of there. And the more you tear it, the more it frays. There's just too much tension on it. And this is the frustrating part of the pick guard condom. Should be able to lift that slightly, like thus. There we go. And out it comes. Now, right away, pull that back up. You see the trouble you have to go through to get all that crap out of there. Not a fan. Gotta be honest. I'd be irked if I bought a brand new guitar and I had to go through that. I've never bought a brand new instrument. I always build my own. And my Thunderbird was not like that, so I never had to worry about taking a pick guard condom off. But there you go. You see what's involved. I can't tell you. Once a week, somebody comes in and they got their guitar on my bench, and they go, "Can you just get that little plastic stuff out of there?" I go, "Well, yeah, it's going to cost you about $30 because I got to pull the whole damn thing off, probably." $30. Nah, I'll just live with it. And that's what happens. Or now I can go to my YouTube channel, check it out. You'll see what you have to go through. Volume, turn it all the way up. We want the 10s to all be lined up. So put them on. Like so. Turn the volume all the way up. Get the 10 around there where it's close. Find the spline and it will push right down on. This one's a push-pull. So, but it's the same procedure. You just don't be as rough with it. And then got your push-pull. Yahtzee. I know that's not what you guys expected, but that's what this video is about. I've had people ask, and when I quote people, yeah, it's going to be $30. I got to do this and that, just to get a couple of pieces of plastic off. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We'll talk soon.